Hey guys, it's Narden here. We're gonna go over product rule and quotient rule today, differentiating concepts and discussing calculus. Okay, so this is the basic formula. We have f of x and g of x. So my tip in any differentiating problem, product rule, quotient rule, well, you have your functions here. I would recommend writing it out, f of x, just like cross multiplying. I'll do f of x and f prime of x, g of x and g prime of x. I'll list my functions given, and then I would find the derivatives of each function, just for me to have a list of it, depending on if I use it or not. It would make your life a lot easier in plugging in. So product rule, so I'm going to explain it, I'm going to say it, and then I'll explain it. I'm going to take the original function of f and multiply it with the derivative of g. I'm going to multiply that. I'm going to multiply the derivative of f and the original function of g. I'll multiply that, and I'm going to add that. Okay, so coming back to this, let me write it in a marker here. Better. It would be better. And then g of x and g prime of x. Yeah, it's a lot simpler in my opinion if you write it this way. You don't have to, but basically what I said here, I have original function derivative, original function derivative. I'm just gonna multiply like that, and then add those two products, which would be f of x times g prime of x, parenthesize that. Then I'm going to add, make sure it's addition. Addition is key. And then the derivative of f times the original function of g. And parenthesize that. Now make sure your parentheses are on point. You don't want to multiply the and add the wrong things together. And then that would be your derivative. So this is the conceptual reasoning of product rule. Let's look at some examples for you to understand it in depth more. Okay, let's look at this first one. So g of x equals x squared plus 3 quantity times x squared minus 4x quantity. So I'm gonna look at, so even though this is g of x, sorry, even though this is g of x, I'm gonna call this f, and then this can be s, right? F, and then this would be s, purple. So I have f times f prime. So as I said, listing this is much easier. I recommend it. So that, and then I would cross multiply and add those two things. Correct, that's what we would do. F times s prime, f prime times s, and I would cross multiply that and add it, just as I did here. I recommend doing it here. So much easier. You get the right answer every time if you do it correctly. So so first let's find the derivative, right? So f prime, as I discussed, x squared plus 3, I'll just get 2x. If you don't know how you got that, check out the power rule video below. I did make a video explaining how I got 2x, or how I explained power rule, and I have some examples on that video if you have any questions. And then I also have s prime is equal to 2x minus 4. Okay, so I'm going to list them all now. So I have f, which is my original function, x squared plus 3. I have f prime, which I found to be 2x. Then I have my original function fs, which is x squared minus 4x, and then I have my derivative s prime, which I found to be 2x minus 4. Now I'm going to multiply these together, I'm going to multiply those together, I'm going to add those two quantities. Okay, so g prime of x is equal to x squared plus 3 times my derivative of s, which I found to be 2x minus 4. Make sure you add it, make sure you add it, make sure you add it, add it. That's key. You don't want to get it mixed up with quotient rule. I'll get to that. Plus, I'm going to quantize this. Then I would do f prime times the original function of s, which would be, I found f prime to be 2x, and then I was given the original function, x squared minus 4x, quantize that, then you would get your answer through that. So, I'm not going to go through all of it, or, yeah, sure I will. Okay, I guess I will. So, I multiply that together, I would get 2x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 12. That's what I get from here. And then I would add that to 2x cubed minus 8x squared. These two quantities are linked. 4x cubed. These two quantities are also linked. Minus 12x squared plus 6x minus 12. So, equals g prime of x. So that's my derivative. Next question. H of t is equal to the square root of t times 1 minus t squared. So, again, listing it is what I recommend. So, I want to make this f, and this time we can use g. So, I'll take the original function f, derivative of f, times g, then derivative of g, as noted by g prime. So I'm going to find my derivative of f and my derivative of g. So my derivative of f would be, this is really t to the 1/2, which is 1/2 t to the negative 1/2, which is 1/2 t to the negative 1/2, and then I have g prime, or g prime, which is negative 2t. Again, my power rule video is down below. Feel free to check that if you don't know how I got that. I'll multiply that and add it. So I have my original function f, which is the square root of t, and I have my derivative g, I found to be negative 2t. Quantize that. Add together those quantities. Then I have my derivative f, which I found to be 1/2 t to the negative 1/2 times g, which is, I was given 1 minus t squared. 1 minus t squared. And you would multiply those two, add it, and then you should get your answer. Again, if you're in calculus, you should be able to do this, so that's why I'm not going to do it. Helping you understand product rule, you should know how to multiply these. And then for my last example, we have some trigonometry functions. Alright, so basically, with any trig functions, you want to set up your functions, alright? So I'm looking at it, I have x cubed times cos x, alright? Some might get confused, like is it x cubed cos times x, or is it x cubed times cos x? Always put parentheses in front of your cos x, just so it will make life easier, so you can easily identify that this would be your one function and then this would be your second function. Okay, so if you were just looking at it normal, you might get confused as what is my first function, what is my second function. Always define your functions through parentheses. Parentheses are a really good way to define your functions, and you should easily be able to identify it. So I did my parentheses, I identify that's my first function, that's my second function. So I'm going to use I'm going to use my method of f prime, g prime. Alright, it's a really good method. Everyone should use it. So I'm going to find f prime to be, this is f, I'm going to find f prime to be 3x squared. And then I'm going to find my g prime, which is the derivative of this, to be negative sine x. I know, well, this is power rule. I know I didn't discuss it, but you should memorize the trigonomic derivatives. They'll save you a lot of time. I memorized it, that's why I knew that cos x, the derivative of cos x is negative sine x. You should memorize that. I'll put a link to down below of a website that'll give you all the derivatives of trigonomic functions. I'm not going to do it in this video just because I want to focus on product and quotient rule for now, but I will link the trigonomic derivatives below. But yeah, the derivative of cos x is negative sine x. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply that and then add that. Okay, so my original function is x cubed. Sorry guys, I'm really tired today. Times derivative of g. And as I found to be negative sine x. And quantize that. Add. And then the derivative of f, which I found to be 3x squared, times the original g, which is cos x. And quantize that as well. So that should be your function. So I set it up like that, and then I have my two quantities, which I would multiply, then add, and then I would get my derivative of the function. So that's product rule. That is product rule right there for you. if you found this video helpful, please share. Please share. If you enjoyed the video, please like. And if you want some more great content, please subscribe. We appreciate every subscriber. And we make these videos to help you. So please let us help you. So, thank you.
Are you alright?